a young music fan, 30 years ago, you loved the Beatles, but not many people were lucky enough to travel the world with the Fab Four. Harry Benson was a London newspaper photographer back then and one of the lucky few. He's collected those images in a new book, The Beatles in the Beginning. And he joins us here in New York this morning. Good morning, sir.
Thank you.
Wow.
Good morning.
What pictures in this book. What a great book it is.
That's a nice thing to see.
Let us first look at the pillow fight pictures. How did these come to be?
Well, the Beatles, after they finished a concert, used to sit in a room and do nothing. But sometimes, if Paul was talking to a girlfriend, someone would come up and hit him in the head with a pillow. And I said, you know, does this happen often? And he said, yeah. So, anyway, Brian Epstein had come in with a cable from America to say, we're #1 in America.
Had a #1 song?
Yes, and we're going to America. And it looks as if we're going to be on the Ed Sullivan Show. But they wouldn't, so this was a good night for them to have a pillow fight.
A good night, night to celebrate.
They were very happy.
Yeah. You have some amazing, really, and even intimate pictures. There's a series of pictures in a Paris hotel where that are really rare in the sense that in these early days they're at work here.
Well, the thing about it is that they didn't really compose that much together. They composed separately. So it was really quite unique. There's not really that many photographs of the Beatles, of McCartney and Lennon together.
At work, as it were.
And look, I always thought Lennon was the best looking one. People used to say Paul, but I always thought it was John was more refined looking. And they all smoked. They all smoked.
They all smoked.
They called them ciggies.
Well, they all did.
Yeah.
30, that many years ago, or not maybe quite that many years ago. Some other great pictures in the book from the honeymoon of George Harrison and Pattie Boyd.
That's right.
And everyone in the world knew they had gotten married, but no one was quite sure where they were, and you found them.
Yeah, well, one of the Beatles told me, I won't say who, told me they were in Barbados, and they didn't even know where he was staying in Barbados. Anyway, I got to Barbados and I found what was, they said, you know, what would be the beach they would go to, you know, a nice hotel, and they told me, and there's George walks along the beach with Pattie, and he thinks it's a coincidence.
That you ran into him.
Yes.
I look at these pictures, and I am amazed at what looks to be innocence.
That's right. Innocence, absolutely, but, and there he is with Cynthia, but they weren't really that innocent, you know, they were really tough kids from, tough guys from Liverpool. You know, they used to laugh at some of the reporters would say kind of, not, you know, silly things to them, like call them mop tops or something like that. And and they used to kind of nudge, you know. I mean, they think it's, you know. I mean, they'd been in Hamburg, and that's a tough city, you know.
And Liverpool is not exactly a garden spot.
Not at all. Coming from Glasgow myself, you know, I know the. But to me, the beginning, you know, my book is really of that wonderful time. Like there were 2 years. Then it kind of, you know,
changed rapidly.
It changed rapidly, but.
Let us look at the New York pictures, because that's what so many of us have been focusing on here in the last couple of days. Is 30th anniversary of them coming to the United States, and you were there at the airport. At the airport.
Well, I already had got them leaving London Airport, Heathrow, and there was a tremendous crowd. But in New York, there weren't that many at the airport because, you know, the Port Authority doesn't let people out on the, you know.
They kept the crowd under control.
Yeah, so.
It is wonderful. It is really wonderful, the Beatles in the beginning.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. The pictures are just terrific. Thanks for sharing them with us this morning.
Oh, it's very kind of you.
Good to see you, Harry. 5 before the hour. Stay with us.